What you see here is the welder sitting on the cart that it originally made. More recently, seen that cart holding up my little Harbor Freight TIG stick welder. But recently, I acquired this little Miller Challenger 172 MIG welder, and I decided I needed a new cart. And I had a really crazy thought about doing a double-decker cart where the TIG was sitting on top of the MIG. Hang on a second, I'll show you. Well, I want to stack them sort of like that, but with enough room, with the TIG stick offset enough where I can fully open the door and get at everything in there. So laid out a frame of angle iron, and I got this, well, this is half of a stair railing that I'm going to cut up into something like that. Use the 1-inch tube for the uprights and maybe the 1/2-inch square tube, I don't know. Think of something. Anyway, that's my general idea. Well, as you can see, I got the other half of the stair railing cut up, and what I've done is I've notched the front corners. You can't see that one because of the maggot. There we go. Anyway, I notched the front corners so that I could have the leg going the entire height, because this one front leg, let me grab this piece right here, let's see, right about there, yeah, anyway, is about how high it's gonna be for the platform for the little TIG welder. So I really wanted this one, especially since it's going to be the sole support, to be one solid piece. Unfortunately, this piece right here, where'd it go? There it is. I don't know if you can see that, but it's split. So I'm not going to use this one, even though I like that little loop on there. I'll probably fabricate my own loops, hangers, and doodads. Anyway, but that's sort of where it stands right now. Well, here's a different angle to show you sort of how I coped with the corners. Don't know how clearly you'll be able to see that, but this face is flush with this edge. And the back edge of the heavier angle gets well welded in there. As you see, I've got that end tacked up, and I've notched the rear corners. Don't know how well you can see that, but anyway. And got my little square on there. Surprising how handy what's supposedly a carpentry tool can come in handy for steel fabrication. Anyway, just using this square, I squared up this end, so we've got, don't know how well you can see that. Anyway, it's to the inside it's 13 3/4, and down here again to the inside it's 13 3/4. So, and just for grins, to the outside it looks like 21 1/4, and 21 1/4. So that little thing came in handy on helping me square everything up when I tack it together. Well, I got this one welded together. Not perfect welds. I was using my new MIG welder with flux core wire. Haven't bought a model of 7525 yet, and that's just pure argon. I haven't cleaned up these welds yet. So that'll be next, and then I get to build a base. And I've got quite a bit of grinding to do. I've got to knock off all these where I cut off the square tube, the 1/2 inch square tube. One of these I sort of, no. Yeah, this one I already did. So, got 2 more to do. 3 if I want to do anything with this one. Oh well, that's it. Well, there's my 4 uprights, verticals, legs, whatever you want to call them, plus my conceptual guide measuring whatever. Anyway, well, basically what I'd done is I'd found an average height. There we go. Found an average height for where to mount that, so it'd give enough clearance for the MIG welder and still have room for the TIG on top. So I cleaned up the shortest of the 3 longest pieces, lined it up at the bottom, and then, don't know how well you can see that, made a mark all the way around. But yeah, that's cleaned up pretty well. There's a little divot where the rust was from the 1/2 inch tube, but other than that, cleaned up pretty good. That's going to be a fun one. Not as much metal on that as I left on a couple others, but still, this one I'd sort of cleaned up, but I'm going to do some more work on it. And the 4th, which was the other end of the railing, so again it had a bad spot, but since on this corner I'm only going to go up even, well, maybe a couple inches above the angle iron, there's plenty of meat there before I get into the bad area. So that's my progress as of this moment. Well, as you see, I've got the legs marked. There's the 3 longest ones. The 2 longest are going to be the back ones. The shorter one will be one of the front ones. Anyway, there's the shorter front one for the corner that won't be supporting the TIG welder. I decided to stub it a couple of inches high so I could loop cable or something around it if I felt like it. I may decide to cut it off later. Who knows? Anyway, I went ahead and cleaned this one up, prepped it for welding. Don't know how well you can see that. There we go. And back in place. So there's the line that's going to align with the bottom edge. And that's where I'm at so far.